Welcome to Dog Facts and Fun, where every fact hides a story of love. Atrocities is a dramatic word, I know, but honestly, it fits. There are things many pet parents do often, without even noticing, that can genuinely feel like emotional gut punches to your dog. And if you don't fix these things, ASAP yes, literally starting right now, your dog may end up believing something heartbreaking, that you don't love them the way they love you. Let that idea sit for a moment. Because if that belief settles in for too long, repairing it becomes a lot harder. So let's talk about the atrocities you'll want to avoid. Atrocity 1. Ignoring their greetings. You walk through the door after a long, draining day, arms full, mind buzzing, grumbling about traffic and deadlines. And right there, waiting like you, are the entire meaning of life, is your dog. Their tail is wagging so hard, their whole back end wobbles. They lean into your legs, nudge your hand with their nose, maybe let out that soft, excited whine that clearly means, "You're home." Finally. But without even thinking, you breeze right past them. Not because you don't care, of course you do, but because you're exhausted, hungry, overstimulated, and your brain is already halfway to the couch. A lot of dog parents assume this isn't a big deal. Dogs are enthusiastic by nature, right? Missing one hello shouldn't matter. But it does. A dog's greeting ritual isn't random. It's one of the most emotionally charged moments in their entire day. Canine behaviorists often explain that when you walk through the door, your dog isn't just excited. They're reconnecting with their family, their pack, their sense of safety. That full-body wiggle and eager closeness are the dog equivalent of offering you a welcome-home hug, a deeply wired gesture that says, "My world is okay again." Ignoring that moment even accidentally hits harder than you think. One missed greeting feels like a small rejection, but repeated rejections, those create cracks in the bond. The fix is incredibly simple. Pause for 5 seconds, kneel down, scratch behind their ears, let them lean on you. That tiny moment tells them everything they need. And greetings are just the beginning. Because sometimes the real heartbreak happens later, when you finally sit down and they come looking for closeness you didn't realize mattered so much. Atrocity 2. Withholding lap privileges. Let's jump to a different part of the day. You're finally home. The arrival moment is over, and now you're on the couch with a drink, a snack, maybe a video playing, just trying to decompress. Your dog sees this and immediately thinks, "Perfect. This is my moment." They walk over tail, going lean their body against your leg, maybe rest a paw on you, and then do that familiar move, climbing partly onto your lap chest, pressed against you, ready to settle in, like you're the softest, warmest place in the world. But then it happens. You shift them off. Maybe you're too warm. Maybe you can't reach your cup. Maybe you just want a few inches of space. And in your mind it's temporary, you fully intend to let them come back once you readjust. But for your dog, it doesn't feel temporary at all. Canine attachment research shows that when dogs choose physical closeness, they're not looking for a seat. They're choosing their safe base, their comfort zone, their family. Your lap, your side, your touch, those aren't conveniences. They're home. When you gently push them away, even for practical reasons, your dog feels it as a quiet exile, a small, "You're not welcome here right now." One moment isn't devastating. But when it happens over and over, dogs don't just decide to be independent. They learn to stop trying. And that slow withdrawal looks like distance, but it's actually disappointment repeated enough times to reshape behavior. The solution isn't letting them smother you every night, it's compromise. Give them a soft blanket spot next to you. Let them keep one paw on your leg. Let them stay close, because closeness is the point. And speaking of shared spaces, There's another situation where your reaction can feel just as painful when the place they choose to rest becomes a place you ask them to leave. Atrocity 3. Shuffling them off the furniture. Sometimes it's not your lap they choose. It's every other spot in the house you've ever touched. The back of your chair, the edge of your bed, the corner of the couch, the throw pillow you love. If it smells like you, your dog will flop onto it, like it's their personal headquarters. And maybe that's inconvenient. Maybe they've planted themselves right on top of the book you were about to read, or they're lying across the couch arm so you can't reach the remote, or they've claimed your pillow with that satisfied little sigh dogs make when they feel perfectly at home. But here's the thing. Dogs don't choose these spots randomly. They're not doing it to annoy you or dominate the household. They're choosing high scent zones, places where your smell is strongest, because scent mingling is one of the clearest ways dogs reinforce family bonds. When they lie where you lie, they aren't being stubborn. They're blending their identity with yours, saying, without words, we're pack, we're one. So when you shoo them off the furniture without offering an alternative, it doesn't just come across as I need this spot. It can feel like, you're not allowed to share my space. You're not part of this. Not dramatic, but dogs feel it. The fix is simple. Toss a washable throw on the couch, give them a designated corner of the bed, or add a dog blanket to the chair you love. Protect the furniture, but keep the message intact, we share this home together. And that idea of sharing space becomes even more important in the next situation, when you close a barrier that sends a very different message entirely. Atrocity 4. The closed door. Every dog parent knows that a standoff doesn't just happen in old Western movies. It happens every time you close a door in your own home. You step into the bathroom, you shut the door, because, well, you like privacy when you're doing very human things. But your dog, they act like you just sealed off a national monument. Within seconds, there's a paw under the door, a whine, maybe gentle scratching, sounding more dramatic by the second. And no, this isn't because your dog needs to see whatever you're doing in there. It's about something deeper. Dogs are territorial guardians, and when a door shuts, it cuts them off from a piece of their environment. But more importantly, it cuts them off from you, their person, their anchor, their pack leader. Dog behaviorists often explain it like this: dogs don't want access to rooms, they want access to their family. When you close a door, you're not just dividing space, you're dividing connection. And to a dog, whose love language is physical closeness and proximity that divide, feels personal even when it's not meant to be. The fix isn't leaving every door wide open forever. Privacy exists for a reason. The real fix is balance. Leave doors cracked when you can, and when you can't, make up for the separation with a little extra affection afterward, a quick cuddle, a soft word, a belly rub. It signals, hey, we're still good. And speaking of needs that go deeper than they appear, there's another moment dogs take to heart, one most people underestimate until it's already causing trouble. Atrocity 5. Skipping playtime. Life gets busy. You've got work errands, dinners, and that endless list of podcasts you swear you'll catch up on. And somewhere in the middle of all that, your dog's toys start collecting dust in the corner. After all, dogs are easygoing, right? They hang out, nap, chew a bone. Missing a play session here and there shouldn't matter. But in a dog's world, it absolutely does. Play isn't casual fun for dogs. It's a core part of how they release energy, practice instinctual behaviors, and stay emotionally grounded. Tug, fetch, chase, wrestling. These aren't random bursts of chaos. They're the dog equivalent of mental health care. They help prevent frustration, anxiety, boredom, and all those bad behaviors people complain about later. Studies in canine behavior show that even short structured play sessions strengthen the bond between dogs and their humans. When you pick up a toy and engage, you're not just burning their energy, you're telling them, I see you, I'm here with you. And when you don't, your dog feels unstimulated, overlooked, and disconnected from the person they rely on most. The good news is, you don't need hours. 10 focused minutes fetch in the yard, tug in the living room, hide and seek with treats is enough to give them the outlet their instincts crave. And honestly, it's fun for you too. So why not? Because play isn't a luxury for dogs. It's love in motion. And speaking of routines that carry emotional weight, there's another daily moment where inconsistency can feel like a betrayal, especially when it involves their food bowl. Atrocity 6. Feeding on your schedule alone. Maybe you're the kind of person who eats whenever snacking here, skipping a meal there, grabbing whatever fits your day. That works fine for humans, but for dogs, mealtime is closer to a ritual. It's structure, safety, and consistency, all packaged into one simple routine. So when you feed your dog, whenever you remember tossing kibble into the bowl at random times, it doesn't just make their stomach feel uncertain, it makes their world feel uncertain. Dogs thrive on predictability. A regular feeding schedule tells them, you can rely on me. Your needs matter. Research in canine welfare consistently shows that dogs fed on steady routines show less anxiety and more affection toward their humans. And it makes perfect sense for a creature wired around stability, and pack structure inconsistency feels like a small betrayal. When dinner suddenly shifts an hour late or gets dropped in the bowl without thought, your dog doesn't interpret it as, oh, they were busy. They interpret it as, are you paying attention to me? Can I trust this rhythm? And trust is the quiet backbone of your bond. The fix is simple. Choose meal times you can stick to. If your schedule changes or you're out late, use an automatic feeder as a backup. And whenever possible, be part of the moment. Call their name, kneel down, let them nuzzle your arm as you pour the food. Don't just give them calories, give them connection. Because feeding is more than nourishment. It's reassurance. And that same idea of emotional signals goes even deeper in the next one, where the smallest gesture from your dog can feel huge if you miss it. Atrocity 7. Ignoring their soft gazes. Sometimes it isn't about what you give your dog. It's about what they give you, and how easy it is to overlook it. Dogs have a way of looking at you that isn't just looking. It's that soft eye moment, relaxed lids, gentle expression, slow blink, calm face. The canine version of saying, I trust you. I feel safe with you. Many people mistake it for zoning out or just resting their eyes. But for dogs, soft eye contact is a social gesture loaded with meaning. Animal behavior researchers explain that dogs use these soft, lingering gazes to strengthen emotional bonds with their humans. It activates the same oxytocin pathways that connect parents to children. In other words, when your dog locks eyes with you in that slow, peaceful way, they're literally offering you affection. But if you don't acknowledge it, if you glance away, ignore it, or just look through them, it can feel like brushing off an I love you. Not dramatic, but noticeable. Dogs may pull back a little, hold that gaze less often, or stop offering those quiet, emotional moments altogether. The fix: return the signal. Soften your eyes, give a slow blink. Back, offer a warm smile, or a gentle, hey buddy. You'll see their body relax instantly, a small head tilt, a content sigh, maybe a lean toward you. Tiny gesture, enormous impact. And while we're talking about signals that carry emotional weight, the next one is a big one, because this time it isn't a gesture from them. It's something we do to them that feels far more intense than we realize. Atrocity 8. The unwanted bath. Dogs aren't like kids who forget to shower, or rock stars who proudly avoid hygiene. Most dogs actually keep themselves pretty clean. Constant licking of their paws, their fur, their legs, grooming in those quiet moments between naps. They're not perfect at it, sure, but it's part of how they maintain their sense of self. Their coat isn't just fur. It's their identity, their protection, and the thing they work hard to keep feeling right. But then, there are those moments, the ones when they roll in mud mystery goo or something that smells like it came straight from the underworld. Suddenly, a bath becomes unavoidable. And from your perspective, it's necessary. But from your dog's perspective, it can feel like a full-on violation. Behavior experts note that forced bathing disrupts a dog's sense of security and self-comfort. When you scrub them down, even gently, they're not thinking, cleanliness. They're thinking, what's wrong with me? Why are you stripping away my scent? The thing that makes me feel like me. It's not that baths should never happen. Just that, they shouldn't happen lightly. Dogs rely heavily on their natural scent and coat oils to navigate the world, feel grounded, and identify their place in the pack. So when a bath is unavoidable, soften the experience, use warm water, calm words, gentle handling, and follow it with praise and affection. Remind them that even when you intervene, you love them exactly as they are. And with that, we've reached the end of these hidden emotional pitfalls, so here's the part that truly matters: what you do next. If you've made it this far, here's the truth. You probably already know, dogs don't hide their feelings. They love, openly, loudly, honestly. And it's the small moments, hellos, routines, touches, glances, that shape how loved and secure they feel. Fixing these 8 atrocities doesn't require life changes. It just requires awareness. 5 seconds of greeting, a little space on the couch, a schedule, a soft gaze back. These tiny choices add up to a dog who feels understood, protected, and deeply bonded to you. And if you want your dog to live a longer, happier, calmer life, start by strengthening moments that seem small but mean everything to them. If this video helped you see your dog differently, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves their pup as much as you do. Your dog's heart notices everything, and today you chose to show up for it.